Hey guys, hi. So today we will be learning about PyTest with Selenium. So before moving forward, please make sure that you have Python installed in your machine. Now, for installing or for the guidelines on how to install Python, you can refer the videos which had been prior uploaded by Mukesh Otwani. So you can refer those links. Okay. So how do you check that if Python has been successfully installed in your machine? Well, we'll quickly check that. So go to your command prompt and just type Python hyphen hyphen version. So this should give you the version of the Python installed in your machine. Okay, so please make sure that you have Python installed. Fine. So before starting, what is PyTest? Uh, PyTest is nothing but the testing framework. So Python has got three primary testing frameworks, namely unit test, nose test, and PyTest. Okay, unit test is something which comes by default along with Python, and PyTest is something which is an extra plugin to Python. Okay, we have to add it as an external package in Python. What are the advantages of PyTest over unit test? We will go through these as we proceed with this particular webinar. Okay, so before moving forward, we will need few installations. Like I said, that PyTest is something that we need to add externally. So what you need to do? So, okay, 1 second. Fine. So these are few guidelines. You will get this in readme.md file of the GitHub repository of this project, which link we will be providing you in the description of this particular video. Okay, so the first thing that you will have to do is to install PyTest. So the command to install PyTest is pip install PyTest. So what you need to do, you just need to go to your command prompt and type this particular command, pip install PyTest. This will get PyTest installed in your machine. I have already done this due to time constraints. This is already done. So we'll just start with the project, and also, yeah, this thing. You'll also need Selenium installed in your machine. So for that, you will have to do pip install Selenium. Okay, fine. So now let's start with the project. I'm using PyCharm IDE for this particular session. You can use any other Python editor of your choice. Okay. Fine. What have we done? We have just created a project and a class, nothing else. So we'll be doing the coding part right now. Uh, Before you start with this, again, we have done the package installations in our machine, but you'll also need to do those here within the PyCharm. So how do you do that? You need to go within File, Settings. Okay, so you get this project interpreter part here. So, okay, like you see, I already have this PyTest and Selenium installed. You won't have it at an initial phase. So what you need to do, you need to go and click on this plus icon. This will list all the available packages. Just type PyTest here. So, okay, that has been okay. You see this? This is showing me in different color because I already have it installed. Okay, so just click on the particular package that you want to install and click on install package. This will get it installed for you. Okay, fine. Similarly, I'll also have to install Selenium. So I have this thing installed. So I'll just cross this and let's start with some project thing. Okay, so firstly, what I'll need to do, I'll have to import PyTest because obviously I need to do the PyTest coding right now, and also I'll do from Selenium import WebDriver. Okay, fine. Now we will be doing a very simple coding of login test. Okay, so let's do driver is equal to um, WebDriver dot chrome. Under this, we will have to pass the executable path. You can see it in the section above. It says that you will have to pass the executable path of Chrome driver.exe, right? So what I type here, I'll be typing executable, okay, execute is equal to, let's see where is my executable. It's kept here, right? So I'll just copy this location. I'll paste it here. Let's put double quotes. Sorry, let's put double slashes. These double slashes are used as escape sequences. Okay, and in last Chrome driver.exe. Okay, so this will help you getting the path of the WebDriver. After that, put an implicit weight of 10 seconds and let's maximize the window. Okay, so why don't we do one thing? Maybe we run this code first, or let's do some more coding. Okay, no problem. We'll do some more coding. Okay, so we'll open a URL. We are going to do these operations in this particular website, which is Orange HRM. Okay, after that, driver dot element by ID. I don't know the ID. Okay, let's go to this particular site. Okay, let's see. Fine. So here we have it. Let's go to inspect. Okay, so I see element, the username element has got the ID text username. I'll just copy it and I'll say, okay, driver dot find element by ID. Sorry. So it has got a set of credentials which is correct and a set of credentials which is incorrect. So we will be putting the correct credentials right now. Okay. But as you see here, guys, it is already pre-filled. So what I want to do, I want to clear this text and re-enter the correct credentials so that later I can reuse it for entering the incorrect credentials as well. Okay. So let's do clear and then by ID, this one, dot skis. Let's put admin. Okay. Similar, we'll do it for the password thing also. Let's get the password. Okay, so you see this input text is highlighting the password thing here, right? So this has got the ID text password. So we'll put it here. We'll again clear it first, followed by dot send case. Okay, the correct password for that is admin free, which I had already seen before. So let's put that, and then let's click on login button. Okay, so driver dot, let's see if that element has got an ID with it. Okay, so yes, I can see it has got the ID saying button login. Let's just copy it. Driver dot find element by ID. Button login. I didn't put double quotes here. Okay. Okay. Dot click. Okay, guys. So what we have done, we have just cleared the username and password text boxes. After that, we have entered the username and password, and then we have clicked the login button. Now let's put an assertion to validate if I had been able to log in successfully. So what I need to do for that? Let's see. I'll just click on login. Let's see where does it redirect us. Okay, it takes us to some other pages. Let's see. So we'll be putting an assertion. What is assertion? It helps you validate if you have been to the right page or not. Okay, so okay, we see that it is redirecting us to some dashboard page. So what we can do, I can say assert dashboard and driver dot current URL, right? So what it will be doing, it will be taking out the URL from our page, and it will be seeing if I have got dashboard text in my particular URL. Okay, we see that. Great. Let's do a sample run. Now how do you run it? So for that, let's go to the command prompt. Let's navigate to the location of this particular project. And PyTest. PyTest is a command which you'll have to put forward because we will be running it as in PyTest. Though we haven't used anything of PyTest as of now, so even you can run it as Python, but we'll be soon using it. So I'm already running it as a PyTest project. Okay, -v -s. Okay, we have it under the operations package. So operations slash test underscore login dot py. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it launched a browser, it maximized it. So it is redirecting to my orange HRM page right now. Okay, it entered, it clicked on login now. Okay guys, so we see here it redirected to the dashboard page, and here guys, and let's go to the command prompt. Okay, so though it ran my code, but it's saying collected 0 items. Now why is it saying collected 0 items? So it has run the code. Reason, we have run the PyTest command and it did not find any PyTest function to have run. Right, so though it ran the code, but there was no PyTest function, hence it said that okay, I didn't find any PyTest code to run, right? Okay, so what we are going to do now is let's convert this into PyTest code. So I'll just put it under some functions. Let's put this one under my setup. Sorry. Okay. I'll have to do this, and then let's put under the function test underscore valid login. Okay, so I'll put a tag so that this gets identified within the function. And for this, the quit browser thing, I'll put the function dev test underscore tear down. Right? Okay, so why is it showing errors on this driver variable? Though is not showing it here. Reason, this driver variable is right now local to this particular function. Therefore, in these particular functions, it is not able to get who is driver. So what we need to do for that is we need to declare it as global so that even other functions get to access, right? Okay, so what is this going to help you? This test underscore is going to get these functions identified as a PyTest functions. Okay, now right now these three things will be running as individual test case. But what we want to do, say we want that we have multiple test case and I want to run this particular set before every test case, and I want this particular set to run after every test case. Okay, so basically I want to run them as fixtures, right? What are fixtures and PyTest? In the beginning we did discuss that, okay, I'll be telling you the advantages of PyTest over unit test. So this is one of the advantages of PyTest is you can declare this one as fixture. For declaring this as fixture, I need to say this, that okay, I need to put the annotation saying @pytest.fixture. So what this is going to tell you? This is going to tell you that this test case will be treated as fixtures. Now there are multiple fixtures within PyTest. Okay, saying scope is equal to module, classes, functions, and what. So saying this, you say them the scope that okay, this particular fixture need to run each and after every class or each and after every function, before and after every package, or before and after every module, or how do you want to run it. Okay, so these fixtures help you identify that. By default, its scope is before and after every function. So if I'm not declaring any scope, it will be by default function, or else you can give a scope. So here you can say it's equal to function, module, classes, everything. So right now I'm leaving it as blank, saying that okay, its scope is before and after every function. Now I want to tell this test case that this test case need to use this fixture. So for that, what I need to do, I need to put that fixture name right here. So I'll be putting this. So this will help my test case identify that I have to use this fixture. Another thing, now I also have to do this driver.quit after my test case. So before, like in Python 2, what we need to do was we had to do this fixture thing before in test setup plus in test teardown as well. But from Python 3, what we have got is we have got this yield. Right, so what this yield does is yield helps you to tell that okay, whatever is written below yield should be treated as the tear down function. So you really do not need this anymore. So whenever you have this identified as fixtures before, like we have said test setup, it will do this particular set of operations before and then it will put this one after. Okay, let's run it once again and see how what type of results does it give us. Let's run it. So right now you see it has said collecting one item, right? We did open the browser. Okay, admin password is set. Clicked on login. Okay, as you see, it's got redirected to the dashboard page. Now it will quickly put the assertion and my browser should close. Okay, so my browser closed and I can see my test case is passed and it is now showing one passed, right? Because I had my one test case running with the name test underscore valid login, right? Okay. Now let's quickly do one more thing. Let us create one more test case with invalid login, right? I'll put the same fixture again because I want the same thing to get repeated for this test case as well. I'll simply copy this particular code lines and let me paste it all here. Perfect. Okay. Now let me change the data so that it fails. Now I should get my two test case running, right? Let's quickly run it again. This time you can see it collected two items, right? Just see once. Okay. So right now you see we have two items because now we have got two test cases. So it has started running the first one, test underscore valid login. Okay. So these are the valid credentials or the valid test case that's running right now. Right, it's my browser open. And now, as we say, that my fixture should run before and after every test case. So as you see, the browser has closed and now, so it has quit and now it's running again. Okay, it has entered invalid credentials. It should not log in. As we see in the URL, it has redirected to some retry login page. Okay, so I didn't find dashboard here in my current URL. It should fail because I've asserted dashboard and it didn't find that. Let's see the output. Okay, so what I see, one failed, one passed. The failure line is assert dashboard in this particular URL which had retry login and we have got an assertion error, right? So this was a sample PyTest run. Now there are multiple other things that we can do with PyTest. We can put parameterizations like right now for login we have put two test cases. You could have done in one including this parameterization stuffs, right? We can also put markers like we need to run only the regression cases or only the scientific ones and many others. So we have multiple fixtures of PyTest, but this was a sample PyTest code that we saw, right? Now, what are we going to do next? Next is reporting part. So we have see the basic Allure reporting in this particular video. Okay, now again for getting reports we are using Allure reports. So for setting Allure reports we have set up the instructions here. You need to download the Allure command line from this particular location that's provided here. You need to unzip the directory and put the path of bin. You'll get a bin folder within the Allure command line folder. Okay, so you need to navigate to that path and put that location within the path environment variable, and then you need to come back to your command prompt and put this pip install Allure PyTest for your Allure commands to run, right? Similarly, even within your PyCharm, again, you need to go within file, you need to go within settings, and within here, you need to go to this plus icon and say that, okay, I need to get my Allure. Oh, it wasn't typing. You just need to say that, okay, I need my Allure PyTest package installed. Okay, fine. So I already have these things installed. As you see, I have Allure PyTest installed already in my machine. So I'll directly get started. Please make sure you do it before you start with it. Okay, So before doing anything or before using any of its command, I'll say import Allure. Okay, I need to import Allure before starting with any particular task. Now, let's see some basic functionalities of Allure. Before any test case, what I can say, I can tell Allure to put a description for my code. Okay, so I'm putting a description around here saying, okay, my this test case validates orange HRM with valid credentials. Similarly, I say this one as @allure dot description saying validate orange HR with invalid login credentials. Okay, so you can say what is it going to do. So in your reports, whenever you say this whenever you see this particular function in your reports, it should be showing the description that, okay, what is this particular test case going to do? So I've put those descriptions here. Similarly, let's talk about another of Allure, which is also very nice. We can put severity here. Okay, so I can say the severity of this particular test case is, for example, maybe I say it is critical, right? And for this one, I can say that, sorry, for this one, I can say that the severity for this one is maybe normal. So in reports, Allure can segregate it that, okay, my 2 critical cases passed, my 3 normal failed, 4 low toast test cases passed, and so on, right? So this is another feature that can be used in Allure reporting. We'll see them soon. But just let's explore a few of its features first. After that, I want to do loggings, right? So for logs, I want that, okay, enter username as this, enter password as this, and so on. So how do I put logs here? So what I'll do now right now is I'll put this enter username, enter password that we have done. I'll put these things as functions. Okay. So let's do it. So what I'll do is def enter underscore, sorry, the name, and I'll take username as a parameter, and I will just cut this line here, and I'll paste it here saying that, okay, you need to send keys, use, right? Same thing I'll be doing for password. Def enter password, password as a parameter, and I'll say dot send keys. What do I need send keys? Password, right? So here, what I can do, I can put it as a logging step that, okay, I'm entering username as this or I'm entering password as that. Okay, so how do I write that? I'll write it as allure dot step. What step is this? Entering username as, now I want this particular parameter which is being sent here to be passed here as username, right? So I'll say this. So it will help you get this username be filled here. Similarly, even for password, I'll do a similar task saying allure dot step entering password as 0. Okay, and I will just copy this function and I'll say that, okay, guys, let's um mhm. So instead of doing send keys, I will simply call that particular function here, right? So I'm saying enter username admin. Similarly, I'm saying okay, 1 second, guys. Similarly, here I'll be saying enter password admin123, right? I'll be doing the same thing here. Okay, I've removed this mistakenly. Let me put it again. Okay. So enter password. Remove this. And enter username here, right? So what is it going to do now? It will enter my username, it will enter my password. So for calling this, I have called this particular function. It will come here and it will put it in my logs as well. Okay. Now, one another thing. Say I want to get a screenshot for my failed test cases. So right now my this test case will be failing, correct? So what can we do? What can we do? So let's put it in try block. This will be very easily achievable if you do it via listeners. Like I can uh, say this that okay, listen to an event and tell if whenever I get an assertion failure, just attach it. But right now for time constraint, we are not going to that particular block. I'll just tell you how can we attach the screenshots in Allure. So it's very, very simple. I can simply say if there's an failure, sorry, I didn't write that. Okay, so if I have got an assertion error, what it needs to do is I'll say, okay, Allure dot, I've got a function in Allure saying attach. Okay, so I need to call this. Now it needs some parameters. The first one would be driver dot get screenshot as PNG. Okay, so firstly I'll say that okay, you need to get a screenshot. Next, I need to give the name to my screenshot. So let's say I'm giving the name as invalid credentials. Okay, this can obviously be parameterized if you want to, but right now let's give it the name as it is. And then we need to say what is the attachment type. So we'll say attachment type is equal to Allure dot attachment type dot png. Okay, let's bring it here. So I'm saying that okay, attach a screenshot. So get screenshot as png with this name and attach it within my Allure results, right? So let's run it now. I'll go back to my command prompt, and now along with this command I'll add an additional thing saying Allure directory is equal to. Now, what it means? It is telling you that where do you want to store your Allure results. So for that, I need to create a folder, right? So let me quickly create a directory here saying maybe reports. Okay, I've done this. Uh, Fine. Now I'll say my Allure directory is reports. That's all. It is collected to items. It will be running it. Okay, so for my first test case, it's done. It will be closing the browser right now. It's passed as we see here. And the second test case. Okay, it has entered the invalid credentials. All right, so I should get the screenshot of this page as it is failing in my reports. So this has failed as we see right now. Okay, now how do you generate reports? Okay, so for that you need to put the command allure serve with the name of the folder where you had generated the reports. Okay, so it was in my reports folder, so I've said allure serve reports and I click and enter. So what does this command do? Basically, when you run the command allure directory is equal to reports, it generates the reports in JSON format. And this particular command helps you converting those JSON format files into an HTML so that you can have a better look, right? So we see here, I see my two test cases running, one test case passed, one test case failed. It was within this particular package. If I go within it, so my invalid login has failed, my valid login has passed. Let's see, as we saw before, we have got a description that, okay, I'm validating in this particular test case, I'm validating it with valid login credentials. The severity was critical. I entered my username as this, I entered my password as this, and so on. Similarly, let's go to here. I entered username as this, password as this. I got an assertion error for this particular assertion. And if I go on my screenshots, I see even I've got my screenshot of invalid credentials, right? You can see here, guys. Another thing, if I go to the graphs part, as we discussed before, it says that, okay, one critical case pass, one normal fail. Similarly, you can put this for n number of test cases. Okay, there are many others advantages of using Allure report. We can discuss that in later videos probably. Okay, so this was everything that you should know about the basic runs of PyTest along with Allure reporting, right? Now, what are we going to do? We are going to do the same thing via Jenkins. So what we'll be going to do right now is we'll launch Jenkins, we'll create a sample, a very, very simple job, and we'll try to run this particular code through that particular location. Okay, so let's go to Jenkins now. Okay, so I'm launching my Jenkins. Let's wait. Okay, so I've already got my one thing here, my one workspace. I'll quickly create a new item. Let's name it same. You can name it anything. Orange HRM freestyle project. Let's create. Okay, I'll say okay. Okay, so this is my freestyle simple project. So what I'm going to do here is Okay, I missed one thing. Before you start with Jenkins, guys, please make sure that you have got Jenkins and Allure installed within Jenkins also. Okay, sorry, PyTest and Allure installed within Jenkins also. For all of these, you will get the instruction guidelines within readme.md file of the GitHub project, which link you will find in the description of this particular video, right? Okay, so as I've got everything installed, I'll quickly create this. I'll quickly go forward with this. So I'll go with an advanced. I'll say use custom workspace. And what I'm saying, um, I have to provide the path of this particular project, right? So I'll say I got its path. I'll paste it here. Okay, so this is my path and let me name it as orange HRM, right? Let me come below. I'm not using any of the Jenkins features as of now. We'll say execute Windows batch command for now. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do, guys, here is you have to activate the virtual environment of this particular project. Okay, activating virtual environment is very important step because all the plugins that you install in your packages, everything falls under virtual environment when we talk about Python. So if your virtual environment is not activated, Python is not going to find any of the plugins and your code will not be running. Okay, so for this we need to say that okay, okay, let's see where is my virtual environment, right? So I see that my virtual environment is stored within my project itself, right? And within that, I've got a folder called scripts, and within that, I've got this activate.bat. So this is a file which I need to activate my virtual environment. So I'll be calling the same thing here. So I am already within my project, so I'll just put dot slash venv scripts slash activate.bat, right? So this will help you activating your virtual environment. Guys, please take care that this particular location will be differing from OS to OS. So this is for Windows, for Mac, this will be different, right? Okay, you'll be using source command, source with the location of your activate.bat file if you're using Mac machines. Okay, now my code is within operations package, so maybe I can go with an operations package, cd operations, and then give my command pytest -v-s with the allure directory command. My allure directory is within reports folder as we said before, and my test underscore login.py. Okay. Okay, this has an issue. Why? Because reports is not within operations folder. So if it goes to find reports there, it will be an issue. So let's do one thing. Let's not use this. I'll say allure directories and reports, so it will be able to find it directly within the project folder. And here I'll say that go and find my test case within operations folder, right? Now, in the post build action, I want my Allure report to get generated. Now, in which location again, I'll say I want it within my reports, right? So from here, it need to pick up the JSON format. So here I'll say that, okay, put all your reports within this reports folder. So it will put the JSON file, and for converting it to HTML, it will pick up the JSON file from this particular location again, right? Okay. So I'll apply and I'll save and I will run it. So it has started running. Let's see what is it doing. Okay, so it has activated a bat file and it has also collected my plugins, right? So as Jenkins on my machine is stored as a backend service, it is running in backend. So you won't see the browsers running right now. If you want your browsers to run, you need to get Jenkins installed as a WAR file, right? Okay. Okay, guys. So we see here that my quickly. So one has passed, one has failed. It has said that okay, there was an assertion error, and right now it's generating the earlier reports for me. Okay, alert report was successfully generated. In my overall, it was a failure because one passed and one failed, right? So let's see the reports now. I'll see an Allure symbol here, correct? Let's click on the symbol. It will redirect me to the Allure report. Okay, I see here that my two test cases has passed, failed, and everything is similar as we saw in the reports before, right? Here, one other thing that we'll be seeing is you'll get the link of your Jenkins executor, that who had executed it. So it was executed by Jenkins, right? So right now this trend thing you're seeing is blank because this was the very first run that we provided. Let me just show you an earlier project. So, okay, let me go in here. And as I had made 16 runs, and if I see the earlier report for this one, you see here, it will keep showing you that, okay, in what particular bill, how many cases pass and fail. So it shows you the entire trend, right? So, okay, this was all, guys, for Jenkins along with PyTest and Allure reporting. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope it helps. Bye-bye.